The Psychological Reconstruction of Iran, Article 9, Part 1. Transitional Justice, Separating Justice from Revenge. Every society emerging from dictatorship, repression, and human rights abuses faces a defining question. Will it build its future on justice or revenge? The answer is not merely legal or political. It is a test of a nation's psychological maturity. How a society confronts its past determines whether violence ends or simply changes hands. Anger in response to oppression is natural. Families who have lost loved ones to imprisonment, torture, enforced disappearance, or political executions have every right to grieve and be outraged. Psychology recognizes such anger as evidence of a healthy moral conscience. Yet there is a profound difference between feeling anger and acting on revenge. That difference separates rebuilding from renewed destruction. When anger remains unresolved, it can harden into hatred, reproducing the very violence a society has suffered. Many revolutions have failed because they confused justice with revenge. Yesterday's victim, if unconstrained by law, may become tomorrow's oppressor. Transitional justice exists to break this cycle by distinguishing accountability from retaliation. Victims need more than punishment. They need to be heard, their suffering acknowledged, and their dignity restored. Truth is not only a historical record, it is part of collective healing. Silence and denial deepen social wounds, while recognizing victims helps rebuild public trust. Understanding perpetrators also matters. Many justify their actions as obedience to orders or loyalty to the state. Social psychology shows how authority, fear, and ideology can drive ordinary people to violate their own moral values. Explaining such behavior, however, never excuses it. Transitional justice is founded on individual responsibility. Employment, political affiliation, or family ties are not proof of guilt. Each person must be judged according to their own actions. Collective punishment, retaliation against families, or exclusion based solely on institutional affiliation violates both justice and human rights. Even those accused of the gravest crimes retain the right to due process, legal counsel, a fair trial, and the presumption of innocence. Human rights matter most when emotions are strongest. If legal protections apply only to those we sympathize with, the rule of law loses its meaning. Democracy begins where the law protects human dignity despite public anger. Transitional justice involves more than criminal trials. Independent truth commissions can document victims' testimonies, preserve evidence, and protect history from distortion. They do not replace courts, but help society distinguish truth from propaganda. Independent courts, not public opinion, social media, or political movements, must determine responsibility. Those who ordered killings, torture, enforced disappearances, or systematic repression should be held accountable. But judgments must rest on evidence and fair procedures. Justice earns trust only when the law proves stronger than hatred. A transitional government must prevent mob violence, summary executions, and personal retaliation while safeguarding evidence. It should also support victims, identify the missing, reform the judiciary, oversee security institutions, and ensure institutional vetting is transparent and based on individual responsibility. In recent years, transitional justice has become part of discussions within Iran's democratic opposition. One example is the Transitional Justice Committee, established by the opposition led by Reza Pahlavi and chaired by Nobel Peace Prize laureate Shirin Ebadi. Regardless of political views, legal mechanisms must be prepared before democratic transition, not amid its turmoil. The goal of transitional justice is not simply to punish the past, but to protect the future. Reforming repressive institutions, strengthening judicial independence, promoting human rights, and fostering accountability help prevent future abuses. Above all, transitional justice restores public trust in justice itself. Iran's psychological reconstruction requires more than political change. A society shaped by fear and exclusion must learn the language of law. Transitional justice does not ask us to forget the past. It asks us to establish the truth, assign responsibility fairly, and prevent yesterday's suffering from becoming tomorrow's injustice. A society truly committed to transitional justice upholds the rule of law even when dealing with its enemies. That is when dictatorship truly ends and democracy begins. Mahmoud Ashkanian, neuropsychiatrist, PhD.